Calon Kids, welcome back to Kids Church. I hope you've had another fabulous week. As we explained last week, we are starting to go through the parables that Jesus told. So today we are going to look at the parable in Matthew 5, all about the parable of the lamp. And we are going to make this fabulous lighthouse. So go get your paper, go get your paints before we get going on our lighthouse. Okay, so we are going to make our lighthouse. Now, if you don't like painting, you can use crayons, pencils, even tissue paper. Use whatever you've got in the house. And you don't have to have it red and white. You can have it whichever way you want. So what you need to do, I've got 2 pieces of A4 paper just to make it a little bit taller. And all I've done to get the lines is take a ruler and make lines down my page. So I'm just moving my ruler down so that I'm keeping the same width all the way along. Don't worry about the little bit on the end because that will be our light. Then on my other sheet of paper, I'm doing exactly the same again, the width of the ruler, but then on the second line, it's double the width of the ruler. So you can see that's the width of the ruler, here is double the ruler. Then we're painting. So I'm going to stick to the red and white as I've done before. So I've got my paint here. So it is literally just colouring in each one of those. I'm going to start with red and then work my way down. Now obviously the white band on my lighthouse, this one here, I don't need to paint. So I'll be painting every other strip. So now I've got my red and my white stripes, I'm ready now to paint the light at the top and the green at the bottom. So the green at the bottom obviously is your bottom stripe, and the yellow will be that small yellow stripe at the top of there and the big yellow stripe on the top of this sheet. So I'm just going to get on and paint my yellow now. So you need to paint the top thin strip yellow and then the big stripe on your other sheet of paper. And that is going to be the light part of your lighthouse. And now I'm going to paint the green at the bottom. Okay, so that's all my painting done. So I'm going to put these to the side now while they dry. And then once they dry, we can start putting our lighthouse together. Okay, so while our painting is drying, let me tell you all about the parable of the lamp, which is found in Matthew 5. What's a lamp used for? What do you use your lamp for? Yes, that's right. A lamp is to shine light. And I've got a lamp here next to me. And if I turn the lamp on, look how much lighter this area becomes. And if you go to bed at night, you put your light on, or maybe you've got a lamp. So where would you put your lamp? On the table next to your bed. That's right. There is absolutely no point of putting this lamp underneath the bed, is there? Or in a cupboard, or in a drawer. Look what happens when I cover up the light. At the moment it's nice and bright. But if I cover the light up, all of a sudden it goes darker. So what this parable is saying about the lamp, if you read it, is that Jesus was trying to teach people that when you know the word of God, when you know God and know how to behave and all the lessons that God teaches us, what we need to do is shine out like a light to other people so that they can see it too. Basically what he was saying is when you have all these good things that God has taught you, don't cover them up. There's absolutely no point in having the lamp on if you're going to cover up the light. So what he was saying is as we read our Bibles, as we learn things about God, things like, be nice to people, be kind to people, give to people who haven't got things, not to be selfish, not to be nasty. All these things are really good things, and when we learn them from the Bible, what we should be doing is shining out like a light to others so that they can learn those good things as well. Not to keep your light hidden, not to put your lamp under a basket or in a drawer or under a table. We are to share God's word, share the good things that we learn about God and how that we should be treating other people. So there's no point in having all these good lessons that we learn from God about being kind, being generous, looking after others if we aren't going to share it. So there's no point in having the lamp on if we're going to hide it. That's what the parable says. As well as that, it's just like your birthday. Have you noticed that on your birthday cake, you have something on the top? What is it? It's a candle, it's a light. And the older you get, the more and more candles. Now, I've got a candle here. This candle doesn't give out a huge amount of light. Although if this room was dark, it would let us see. But the more candles we have, and the more candles on your birthday cake, the brighter the birthday cake becomes. And if I was in this room and it was dark, I'd be able to see a little bit. But if I had 10 candles or 100 candles, the whole room would be lit up far, far brighter. And so what we have to do, when we know all these good things about God, the more of us that shine our light, the brighter this world would become. So rather than one candle burning, if 10 candles, if 10 of us would teach people how to be kind to others and to look after others, that's 10 times brighter this world would be. If there was 100 candles, it would be 100 times brighter. So the more of us that can shine our light and tell people the good news that what God has taught us, the brighter this world would be. Now, let's get back to our lighthouse. So now that your painting's dry, you don't need the whole A4 sheet. So what I've done is I've just cut a little bit off the end. We don't need that bit. And I've done exactly the same to this bit of paper. I've cut the end off, and I've cut the bottom off. So you should end up with 2 pieces of paper, something like that. Now what you need to do is you need to glue or sellotape, whatever's easier, the 2 yellow parts together. So you should end up then with a larger piece of paper. Then you need to make this into a tube. So all you have to do is roll it up. Now you may need help from a grown-up to do this. You might want to use toilet paper rolls to roll them round, that's fine, but I'm just going to roll it as it is. So roll it up into a tube and then just get a piece of sellotape. I've cut this earlier just to secure the ends. The same on this end. Then I'm just going to put a bit of sellotape on the back here to secure the whole roll. So then you have your tube, which will obviously become your lighthouse. So now you have your lighthouse shape, you need to cut the bottom, because in order for the lighthouse to stand up, you've got to fan the bottom out, and in order to make the top dome, you have to cut that as well. So let me show you what to do. Take a scissors or ask a grown-up to help you, and you just need to cut up the green up as far as the red, all the way round. And then you can fan that out. So then you'll end up with that sort of shape, that sort of pattern at the bottom, so that when you stand it up, you can glue it down. You need to do exactly the same with the top. So you need to cut the top down as far as the yellow. Now what you need to do is put your door and your windows on your lighthouse. So at the front of your lighthouse, you can draw a door. You can use paint, felt tips. You can get a piece of black cardboard, whatever you want to do, and just colour your door in. So you've got your door. Now you need some windows. In a lighthouse, these are normally just really thin. They're not proper windows, really. So there's my 3 windows. Now you have to finish off your lamp at the top. So what I would do is put a big black line around the bottom of the lamp, a big black line at the top of the lamp, and then you draw kind of your windows, if you like, in your lighthouse, like that. Now I've just done the front, but obviously you need to go all the way around, but I'm just doing the front just to show you, and then I'll finish it off. Then across your windows, you would put kind of the meshing or whatever they would call that across your windows. And there you have your lighthouse as well. Like I said, remember to go all the way around with your lighthouse. Then you need to stick your lighthouse down. Now I've got a piece of green cardboard. If you haven't got green cardboard, you can use white cardboard and paint it. It's entirely up to you. And all you need to do for that is you need to glue all the bits the fans and stick it down. Take your glue, glue all of the bottom bits and then stick it onto your piece of card. If you haven't got green card, don't worry. Get a piece of white card, you can colour it in. You might even have some artificial like AstroTurf stuff. Use whatever you want, felt, tissue, whatever you want to make your grass to stand your lighthouse on. So once you've put your glue onto your green grass, you then stick it down onto your piece of paper and your lighthouse is now standing proud. Now to do the top, all you have to do is glue each little piece and glue them together. So you put a bit of glue on the individual strand and stick that together. Then you put a bit of glue on that one and stick the next one to it. And you keep going all the way around until you finish off your roof. You may need help from a grown-up to do this, and press it hard so that the glue sticks well. And there you have your lighthouse. Now all we have to do is let the light shine. So if you've got a piece of yellow paper, or if you want to colour a piece of paper yellow, or you can colour it any colour you want, it doesn't really matter. Fold it over and you need to make like a dicky bow shape. So you need to cut like a Y shape, the letter Y shape. So you should have that shape when you finish. And because you've doubled it over, you will get your dicky bow when you've finished. Then you just need to write the verse, let your light shine. Okay. Then once you finish your verse, glue it to the back of the lighthouse. And there you finish your lighthouse. I hope you've enjoyed making the lighthouse today, and I hope this week when you get the opportunity to share all the good lessons that you've learned from being at Sunday school or being at Kids Church, that you will share it just like the lighthouse shares its light. Remember, don't hide your lamp under a basket. Bye. See you next week.